All right, today we're going to take a close look at a White House document called America's AI Action Plan. And let me tell you, this is not just some dry policy paper. It's a full-blown strategy, a playbook, really, that frames the rise of artificial intelligence as a race for the future of global power. So let's break down what's inside. And the document really doesn't waste any time setting the tone. It opens with this quote, framing the entire effort not just as some kind of opportunity, but as a really high-stakes global competition for technological supremacy. This idea of a race is absolutely central. You're going to see it pop up again and again throughout the whole plan. So, according to the plan, the stakes really couldn't be higher. We're not just talking about another piece of tech here. The document describes AI as three revolutions happening all at once: an industrial one, an informational one, and even a cultural renaissance. From this perspective, winning the AI race isn't just about being number one, it's about unlocking a whole new golden age for America. Okay, so how exactly does the plan propose to win this race? Well, it lays out a very clear, very structured strategy. Let's get into the details. The whole strategy is built on these three core pillars. Number one, innovate, so accelerate AI innovation. Number two, build, as in construct all the American AI infrastructure. And number three, lead, to secure global leadership. This innovate, build, lead framework is basically the roadmap for everything else we're about to talk about. All right, let's dive into that first pillar, accelerating American innovation. The big idea here is pretty simple. Clear the path so the private sector can move as fast as it possibly can. And the number one principle for innovation, according to this plan, is to get the government out of the way. The goal is to unburden the private sector from what the document calls bureaucratic red tape. The argument here is that less regulation is the secret sauce to keeping America in the lead. And this isn't just some vague idea either. The plan gets super specific about what removing red tape means. It calls for rescinding previous executive orders on AI, reviewing ongoing FTC investigations into big AI companies, even limiting federal funding to states that have what it calls burdensome regulations. And it also proposes revising the official NIST AI framework to take out references to things like misinformation, DI, and climate change. Now, another huge part of the innovation plan is a focus on something called open-weight AI. Basically, these are models that developers make freely available for anyone in the world to download, to tweak, to build on top of. The thinking here is that this open approach is the best way to get innovation happening everywhere really fast. So how does the plan actually plan to support these open models? Well, it talks about improving the financial market for getting access to computing power, which, is incredibly expensive. It also wants to increase researchers' access to private sector resources and bring everyone to the table to help small businesses start using these tools. Okay, on to Pillar 2, building AI's backbone. This is where we shift from the world of software and algorithms to the physical world. We're talking about the huge, massive infrastructure build-out needed to actually power this AI revolution. And the plan is pretty direct about it. It literally says, simply put, we need to build, baby, build. This really hammers home the focus on the physical construction of everything, from data centers to the power grid that keeps them running. So the document points out three big challenges holding back this construction and offers a solution for each one. The problem? Slow permitting. The solution? Streamline or even get rid of some environmental regulations. Another problem? A stagnant power grid. The fix? Stabilize it, optimize it, and expand it. And finally, the reliance on foreign chips. The answer? Bring semiconductor manufacturing back home to the US. And just to be clear, we're not talking about small projects here. The plan is calling for a massive national effort to build these high-security data centers, to seriously upgrade our electric grid, and to restore semiconductor manufacturing right here on US soil. Of course, you can't just build all this stuff without the people to do the work, right? So the plan also calls for training a whole new skilled workforce for these high-paying infrastructure jobs. We're talking electricians, advanced HVAC technicians, the people who are absolutely essential for building and maintaining these data centers. And that brings us to the third and final pillar, securing global leadership. This is where the plan zooms out and looks at the bigger picture, the international stage, diplomacy, and national security. And the international strategy laid out here is really a two-pronged approach. On one hand, for allies and partners, the idea is to export the full American AI stack. Hardware, models, the software, everything. The goal is to build a strong global AI alliance. But on the other hand, for adversaries, the strategy is basically denial. Cut off their access to advanced AI chips and use strong export controls to keep them from catching up. The plan even gets into some very specific and, frankly, pretty creative ways to strengthen these export controls. It suggests looking into location verification features on the chips themselves, increasing monitoring of how they're being used in high-risk countries, and controlling not just the big systems, but the smaller components too. It even mentions using tariffs to get other countries on the same page. So, when you pull it all together, the entire strategy, from getting rid of regulations at home to denying tech to adversaries abroad, it all points to one single stated objective: to achieve unquestioned and unchallenged global technological dominance. And all of this really leads to a big, critical question. What could be the global impact of treating AI development as an all-out, zero-sum race for dominance? What does that mean for things like international cooperation, or AI safety, or just for the world in general? That's the question we'll leave you to think about.